Hello, welcome back to Foos Entertainment for my review of 2012's No One Lives with Luke Evans. Talk about the plot of the film, the world's opinion of the film, my opinion of the film, and give the film a ranking. There's not really much trivia. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about the history of, duds from WWE films. And I might add, this is not a dud. This is actually a good one. There are a few good ones from WWE films, but most of them are really not that good. All right, so let's get on with it. Yeah, maybe it's time to change these contacts out. Maybe they're getting kind of old because it's kind of, yeah, that's what the problem is. I even looking at this camera and it looks like I'm not in focus, but I'm obviously in. It's all right. That's what you have my touch light for. All right. Luke Evans, Fast and Furious 6, star in this insane, high-octane gore fest about a young couple driving cross-country via giant royal roads when the couple is abducted by a chain of backwoods criminals. A nightmare unfolds, but the kidnapped pair is not who they seem, and their captors soon realize they are in a way over their heads is a battle of terror with some very devour twist explode. Of course, editor actors co-star in this widely, extremely Hoder stalker from the director of Midnight Meat Train. All right, the plot synopsis on this really is more about talking about the actors in the film, which is really kind of sad. So we'll be double downing on the plot of the film. I will make it a little bit more interesting in my take on the plot of the film. When a couple is abducted traveling cross country, the captors soon figure out that they have abducted the wrong people when the male of the couple turns out to be a serial killer. And the hunted become the hunter, or sorry to say, the ones that got captured become the predator, and the captors become the prey in a very diabolical way. All right, Darrell's opinion on No One Lives. Believe it or not, everybody who has seen this movie has had nothing but praise to say about the film. They have said this film is very, very good, a very unique horror film. Probably the only horror film of its kind. I don't think they've made a horror film like this ever again. Now let's go on to my opinion. I share the same opinion. I have never seen a horror film like this. Until I saw this, I have never seen a film like this before. I mean, it's a very, very interesting concept. You kidnap a serial killer who abducts women and tries to, use Stockholm Syndrome on them and stuff like that. What would happen if you kidnapped and abducted a serial killer? How would that play out? And I love how it plays out in this movie. I mean, the way that Luke Evans' character, who plays the serial killer, the way he kills people is literally the way that Jason Voorhees stalks his teenagers and kills them. The kills in this movie are very innovative. The grisly stuff that this serial killer does. All I gotta tell you is, yeah, this is a pretty intense movie. And there's some pretty intense things that Luke Evans does in this film. Like, for example, he actually uses one of the corpses that he kills is a means to transport himself to another place. And you actually get to have that scene where he's literally comes out of that corpse. There's some pretty diabolical things in this movie. And this doesn't happen often because, you know, I review horror films a lot of the time. To where I can actually go ahead and say, don't tell me they did that. Oh my God. Son of a bitch. They actually did that. Can't believe I'm seeing that. And it's just a downright cool movie. During this event, I think I probably watched this movie just to pass the time a couple of times, or too many. I think I probably watched it like 4 times. I guess I must be diabolical, right? Or maybe I just have fun with films like this. They're unique. So obviously I really liked it. Okay. Is there really any trivia about this movie? Not really. So let's just talk about the history of WWE films. If you don't have high standards, then yes, their action movies they made are pretty good. Now, of course, would be the Marine movies in the 12 Rounds films. I, for one, have much higher expectations. I would say that those films are popcorn flicks, which means that, you know, it's more like, you know, it's a Saturday afternoon. You just want something to pass the time, but you're not really looking for anything that, you know, is particularly good. But, you know, a good passing the time type of action movie. That's what you get with those. And then, yes, I would also say I feel the same way about The Condemned. Sorry, all you Stone Cold Steve Austin fans. I feel the same way about that movie, too. However, here are some good movies they made. I actually like See No Evil. I have not seen the sequel, but I actually would like to see the sequel. Maybe that's a tease to Horror Fest 2026, which hopefully is going to be a lot better than this one. Hopefully, you know, I don't have to deal with what I've been having to deal with lately when we get to fall 2026. I don't think I will. I think it should be a pretty good season. The Evil films are good, I would say, and No One Lives is an awesome horror film. I could definitely tell you. And it's not really a horror action movie. This, despite the fact that it sounds like an action movie, because you have a serial killer, you know, you don't fuck with a serial killer because then he's gonna fuck with you, type of thing going on with this movie. And there's a lot of cool stuff like that in this film, yes. But this is very strictly a horror film. This is a horror film, not an action movie. So keep that in mind. So if you're looking for a action movie to where a serial killer is you know, killing off criminals one by one, if you know, screwed with him, that's not what this is. There's a lot more going on. This is definitely I wouldn't actually say this is a horror film. A horror film would actually have more fantasy in it. This is basically a unique take on a slasher movie. That's what this is. This is a slasher film, like Friday the 13th or Halloween. This is definitely not an action movie, and I wouldn't even say it's a horror film. This is a slasher film for sure, but it's a damn good slasher film. A very uniquely original slasher film, which something you don't see often these days, because slasher films have been done to death. All right, a ranking. I've watched this film like 4 times, and I enjoyed it every time I watched it. So obviously, this is getting a perfect score. Now I know that a lot of people wouldn't do that, but to me, it's getting all 4 stars. I would say that most people that have reviewed this movie would give this like 2.5 to 3 stars. being that they think it's almost a great film, but they also acknowledge it as a good film and a little bit better than a good film. I, for one, give it all 4 stars because I think it's a perfect original slasher film, and that's exactly what it is a perfect original slasher film. And this right here is a type of slasher film because of how original it is that I can see myself going back to again and again and again. This is definitely not a popcorn movie to me. So, agree with me or not, Fu says check it out. And I will see you all very soon for another review. Until then.